From Tampa Bay's #1 news station, this is the Fox 13 6 o'clock news.
Good evening and welcome here on this Monday. I'm Mark Wilson.
And I'm Allie Corey. Thanks for being with us. Well, developing tonight, we are following the latest on a deadly crash on the water. A boat slammed into the back of the Clearwater Ferry last night. One person was killed, 10 others hurt, and dozens left shaken by the ordeal. Well, tonight, witnesses who fought to get close enough to help in shallow waters are describing the chaos. Our Fox 13's Evan Axelbank spoke to them. We're going to hear from him in just a moment.
First, let's go to Kylie Jones, who joins us live with an update on the investigation after getting briefed today. Kylie.
Guys, well, the FWC says nobody is in custody at this point, but FWC investigators have spoken with that recreational boat driver. And as you can imagine, investigators are combing through a lot of evidence from this scene in multiple locations, a chaotic scene and a tough scene. Clearwater police.
The first emergency call came from the U.S. Coast Guard as chaos unfolded in the water.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. There's been a boat collision, the Clearwater Ferry. Underneath the Clearwater Memorial Causeway, the Clearwater Ferry is adrift.
911 calls came in one after another as this recreational boat slammed into the back of the Clearwater Ferry Sunday night near the Memorial Causeway Bridge. The FWC says there were 44 people on the ferry and 6 people on the recreational boat. The Clearwater police chief says the boat overrode almost 3/4 of the ferry, throwing several people into the water. 1 person was killed and 10 others were sent to the hospital. Clearwater Fire Rescue says this was considered a mass casualty event because there were more victims than resources at the time.
A very challenging job in the nighttime, in the water, trying to figure out who are our most injured and where are you coming from and what boat are you associated with.
FWC investigators say they talked to the driver of the boat at the scene, saying he was cooperative. They say he also did a voluntary breathalyzer, which came back with a reading of 0. On Monday, the FWC said it'll take time to investigate this crash.
We use a lot of LiDAR equipment and a bunch of laser-guided stuff to really map damage and put things back together. And that's sometimes what will delay these investigations a little bit. It seems like it should be pretty easy to put one thing together with something else, but it's really not as simple as laying things over each other. You really got to figure out what was pre-existing. If anyone's owned a boat, unfortunately, they bump against docks and things like that. It happens. So every scratch may be valid or it may not based on the accident that occurred. And how do you corroborate those things with it?
Now, part of the investigation will be to try to determine how fast that recreational boat was going. And in the latest update we got this afternoon from the FWC, although that boat left the scene of the crash, the FWC says it's not clear at this point whether or not the crash will be investigated as a hit and run. The FWC also has not released the name yet of that boat driver, but we're working to get more information. We'll keep you updated on air and online, guys.
All right, sounds good. Kylie Jones live for us tonight. Kylie, thanks.